makes today's topic especially existing for like exciting for our Jira admin, whomsoever is the project manager or Scrum Master, developer, anything. So over to you, Kavisha. So we can start this session.
So before we start, Kavisha, just one more line to add. So guys, please be with us till the end of this session because we have some amazing gift vouchers and certification vouchers to share with you all. So in the end of the session, we will do a random quiz and like a quiz and the random raffle draw where we will be distributing gift vouchers and the certification vouchers with you all randomly. So you can start, Kavisha, right?
Hi everyone, good morning. So, like Shivam said, does anyone want to introduce themselves on the chat? Let's keep the chat going so that it's interactive session, and let's stay with the session till the end because, like you said, there are some amazing vouchers and a lot of learning as well that we are going to do as part of this session. So, hi guys, a little bit about me is that I'm a software engineer at Tesco and I have around 2 years of experience and I've been working with Jira and Confluence for around 2-3 years as well. Uh, just with a show of hands, if you can do that, can you let me know if you guys have worked with Jira and Confluence before? I see there are some very experienced folks from of 13 years, 20 years. So I'm sure you guys have had some taste of Jira Confluence before. But what about the rest of the audience? Keep putting it in the chats how experienced you guys are with Jira and Confluence. And let's get this session started. So I'll just start presenting my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, seems like there's some issue with the screen presentation now.
Meanwhile, audience can tell about their expenses and the
Yes.
thing that they are experiencing with the AI right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully my screen is visible.
Yeah, visible.
Great. So, hi to everyone. So the session topic for today is AI took my Jira job and I'm not even mad. Interesting topic name itself. And apart from Jira job, whenever we say Jira, Confluence kind of just comes in our mind, right? They go hand in hand. So how is AI taking your Jira job? And is it something that you need to be scared of? Like how people keep saying that, oh my God, AI is going to take my job. So is this something that you need to be afraid of? Or is this something that you can actually use to elevate your the way you do everyday work and better your performance, if not, make it exponentially better, right? So let's start with the first thing. Like Sushant mentioned that we're already using AI to like summarize a few things. So I thought that let's just start with a demo so that we know exactly what we are jumping into. Okay, so let me start with a small demo. 1 second. Yep. So let me know if you guys are able to see the demo. Okay, it's a little sped up, but we'll see. So you guys know that this is Confluence and how you guys create your own Confluence page that is specific to your company and that is specific to the work that you're doing, right? And how you create the respective Jira tasks. Now, for anyone who has not had a flavor, in Jira and Confluence, let me give you a little context about what Jira and Confluence are. Right? So, because I see that there are some people who are new to Jira and Confluence. So, Jira is basically a platform where you can do a lot of tasks that incorporate one of the most common tasks that we perform is to have our dev plan or our project management plan set up over there. So things or tasks that are in ready for build, are they done, and how we track them as engineers, as project managers, as product managers in a place that is common to everyone in your team so that it is tracked easily, right? And Confluence, now why are both of these terms, kind of being used one after the other, right? So Confluence is just, let's take the most layman example of Google Docs, right? Where you document everything. Similarly, Confluence can help you document all of the work that's related to your organization. So, if your organization is associated with Atlassian and it has these products, that is Jira and Confluence, you will have a specific Confluence or Jira page for your project, for your organization, where you document all of this. So when you create a Jira ticket, you will probably have to, attach some documentation about why this ticket was created or why this task is being done, right? So that is why they are going both hand in hand. Now let's see a small demo. This is a little sped up, but try to, uh, uh, follow along. So I've created a new project, right? And we're going to create a project plan. In that, we're going to see how Confluence and Jira can be used. So here I'm adding in Confluence the approver and contributors. So this is just the Confluent page where you can add comments and tag people just like how you do in Google Docs. You can also, make a workflow diagram of this and create a Jira issue that is specific to the work that you've added. So, for example, this is the Jira ticket that I've created, and the status of that, we can just take from here. Yeah, the status of that is in progress, like you can see over here, right? So, or it's awaiting approval. So these are some states that you would have seen in Jira if you've worked with Jira. Now, this is a Confluence page, and like I said, you document things over here. For example, your plan and execution of how you are going to execute something, or how is the task being taken upon. So, suppose you have different phases for your same project plan. What is the activities in it, start date, end date, and how are you executing it? So, you document all of this, right? So, like you can see now, Jira and Confluence are integrated so well that from this Confluence page itself, I can tell that can you create a Jira ticket for me? I can right click on this part and say that can you create a Jira ticket for me? And like you can see over here, it uses AI to generate summary and description. So a lot of people or a lot of organizations might or might not have this feature enabled. And if you do use Confluence, try to go and right click on some task that you had and try to create a Jira ticket directly from there. Okay, so like you can see over here, we have created a Jira ticket. We are putting the issue type as email request, the summary, and the description for the Jira ticket, right? Now, once we put this, let's see if it's made at the Jira board, right? So over here, we can see that this is a roadmap or kind of like a Jira board where you're seeing all the tasks that need to be done, right? So what are we doing right now? What is the team working on right now? What are we going to take up now, next, or later? Okay. So over here, you can go to manage automations in your Confluence page, and you can use so many of these things. For example, these are all the automations that are available for Confluence alone. So suppose you want to make a sprint plan, which people who are in project management or product management might know that how your team might work in silos of a sprint. Your sprint could range from 2 weeks to a little more than that based on the agile practices that you follow, right? So now, the next thing is that apart from this, you can also see visually, whatever task that you have added on Jira and Confluence, which can help you to kind of, present it to your stakeholder management, right? So, like you can see over here, you can directly use AI to create these dashboards from Jira and Confluence, right? So, a lot of these may or may not be available in your Jira organization, but this is crux of where Atlassian is going with these products, right? So now let's dive right in into what we are going to see in this session. So hopefully you guys have gotten a taste of how Jira and Confluence are getting automated by AI. Now let's take it from the scratch, right? And if you've been using Jira or Confluence for years, you already know them inside out. But AI is actually doing a lot of changes. That is, Atlassian is doing a lot of changes in order to make this whole experience for all of us better, right? And Atlassian did not pay me to say this. Shivam has definitely not paid me to say this. As a user myself, I know that it's very hard to document these tasks, and it's a lot of grunt work. So, what can it actually do today? Some of them I already showed you in the demo, but let's just see feature by feature what we are doing. Now, Atlassian thing called a teamwork graph. Okay, and this is how it looks. Let me show you. Now, you might see some of the products that you use in your company in this graph, right? Maybe some of you guys use Teams. A parallel of Teams could be Slack, is where you guys all chat with each other, right? Or you could be using some knowledge bases. You could use some scenarios. Your calendars could be on Google Calendar, on a Teams calendar. You could have your pull requests and repositories on places like GitHub and so much more. Now, what Atlassian is doing is it's trying to create a graph of all of these things. That is your Jira, your documentation, your pull requests, your GitHub, all of it connected in one place so that you're able to manage, or everything is connected, and your AI has more context than ever. So it knows exactly which PR has been raised and when, and how it can leverage all of this to create a better documentation, right? So this is exactly what Atlassian team Graph is doing, right? It is ensuring that information across all the products that Atlassian hosts is better connected and used in a more intelligent manner, so that you as developers, project managers, product managers, and across roles can leverage this better in your day-to-day job. So how does it work, right? We'll go a little technical behind these products as well, because uh, I'm not here to just tell you what Jira and Confluence is doing, right? As people in tech, we are also always very curious about how these are working internally. So, uh, it is built on a semantic architecture. That means semantic, the word itself means that based on some context, some semantic tokens, it is able to identify and link relationships between the tools, the Confluence pages, the tasks, the PRs, and much more. So that way, it can provide a unified contextual view of all the work in your organization, right? And Atlassian is leveraging smart algorithms and AI-driven insights to make this better for all of you. Now, uh, how is this used now? Like how we were working before this? What was the pre-era of AI in Jira and Confluence? So we had information silos, and the solution with this teamwork graph that's created is that all data is connected. Slow decision making is now made more effective by AI powered suggestions. If you would have seen in the demo, there was a AI bulb button near your Confluence page where it could tell you how you can make some insight or some uh, text that you have added much better, right? Redundant tasks or duplicate content can be eradicated. Transparency is there between teams, and it's not as time consuming, because any of you, if you guys have tried to find a Confluence page from years back in your organization, if you're trying to find something that, okay, where is this related information, you might realize that there's not enough context you can give for to find exactly what you're looking for. But now with these AI powered suggestions, it is able to create a much more smarter semantic architecture, right? So this has basically, if you guys do use this, or if you're already using this, you might know that it is saving up to 88%, that is up to 5 hours of meetings per week. Like my co-host Shivam and Sushant were mentioning, is that you spent a lot of hours doing all of this grunt work, but now with this you're able to see 87% more visibility, 86% removal of silos, and there are 77%, that is 5 hours per week, that people used to spend trying to dig up information from Confluence in Jira are now reduced by a large margin, right? So now, what are some of the tools in Jira? Let's first start with when Jira is trying to take your job, right? So Jira now has something called a natural language workflow builder. And like I said, as a tech person, it might be very easy for you to just go to Jira and be able to add this as an add-on in your Jira tool, right? But what is more interesting is how is it working internally? For you guys working in, I saw people working in HCL, different companies. So you guys, how are you trying to like leverage this in your organization as well, right? AI use cases can be used across. So one of the things that Jira is doing is using natural language configuration. So for example, like we had just seen that if you want to take a task from in review to done, right, and restrict it only to your project leads, how is it you working internally? How is this agent working? So it uses something called a DSL to an XML generator, and this English instruction that you're providing to your AI agent is converted into domain specific intermediate plan. So it takes words like restrict to project leads, move to one state to another, and it converts it into some schema that helps in updating this Jira workflow, right? Now, like we already discussed, the teamwork graph is having an in context knowledge base, right? So whenever you type anything in your Jira AI agent, it uses some lightweight client NLP and keyword extraction to detect what exactly you're working on. So, and then it will help you with cards like, did you mean, suppose you made some sort of error in typing something, okay, it will be able to find out, and it'll be able to suggest you better based on the vector lookups and ranked documents, right? Now, repetitive manual tasks that you have been doing all these years, right? You've been trying to click 10 screens, go to the correct Confluence page, Jira person, the assignee that you're assigning, which project does it need to be assigned to. All of that is now much more easy when there is some sort of a workflow graph that is running, right? So the system builds this workflow graph inside its memory, and it runs guardrails and commits these updated workflow schema. Like we mentioned, like we already saw, it creates that English instruction that you're giving into some sort of a schema that Jira is able to understand. So it is using the schema and saving the mutation of that workflow graph. Okay, maybe I got a little too technical. So let's take one step behind, and let's see how we are doing this, right? So in Jira workflow, I saw there were some comments about Rovo and finding Rovo really useful from Vivek, and how you're going to explore Rovo agents, right? So this is something that we're going to see as part of this as well. So if you want to create the workflow that I've been yapping about, literally, that okay, you can create this task and you can create this task. So let's see a demo for how this works. Okay. So let's start from here. First, I have some workflow that already exists, right? And let me start from here. 1 second. Yeah. So there's a workflow that's already created. Suppose you start in a new organization, they are already using AI with Jira and Confluence. They already have this workflow. How are you going to understand as a product manager, project manager, or even as an engineer what this workflow is doing, right? So basically, you can use this workflow builder in Jira itself uh, by saying, "Can you explain how the workflow works?" Right? So this tool will help you explain what is being done already. So, for example, in progress, waiting on quality assurance, once it's approved by quality assurance, that Jira task needs to move from done. So, it tells you that these are the different states of the Jira ticket, that is to do, in progress, done, blocked, triaged, waiting on QA, and closed. Hopefully, you can all see this chat screen that I'm referring to on the right side of the page. And if I tell it that, okay, these are the rules, these are the transitions, but can you add a new status called QA failed? For example, in your team somewhere, the quality testing has failed. How do I add this new task, right? Without manually sitting and doing and making the transitions and rules. So your workflow builder in Jira is going to allow you to do this, right? So this is where we started from. And it has added this status, like you can see QA failed and the transition that is waiting on QA and QA failed, right? So this is something it can do and you can apply it to your workflow. And like you can see over here, there is now a fail QA also that is created. Okay. Now, how are we doing this, right? And how do you enable this if it's not already done in your Confluence or Jira? Right? So if you go to your Confluence, you will be able to see in the platform settings that there is a Rovo MCP server, and Atlassian still has this on the beta mode itself. So if you go to this Rovo agent and go to this beta thing, you can enable and add which projects you need to you want this MCP enabled in. So this is the first thing. So these are the settings that is to enable Rovo on your site for this agents to actually access all the settings or all the work that needs to be done, right? So you navigate to the new workflow editor, and via the settings, you go to work items and you click on workflow, right? And you open and create your own workflow by you clicking on the workflow builder agent in the editor. So that way you'll be able to see something like what we saw over here, that there is an agent that's working beside it and it's automatically creating the workflow, right? So now you know what are the transitions of the Jira tickets that you have. Now next is AI powered summaries. Okay. And what do I mean by AI powered summaries? So you guys might be using Teams, Slack in different organizations, or maybe some other products as well, right? So sometimes you're talking to a product manager and he writes a long message about what needs to be done, the requirements, business requirements, everything that's put by the PM, the LPM, everyone in the team. And this is a long thread of messages, for example, on Slack, right? But now you want to convert this into a Jira ticket about what needs to be done. Are you going to sit and revisit the recording? First of all, you need to record the session, or if it was on a meeting, or if it's on a chat thread, you need to first revisit the chat thread and try to understand what he is trying to say, right? And sometimes you might have zoned out and you have not understood what this PM is trying to ask, right? So now you can use these Slack messages and common threads and use AI to condense them into actionable summaries. So for you guys who have been working for 20 years or 15 years with Jira and Confluence, this is a very interesting feature because you definitely would have had a use case at some point where you have a very, very long message thread and you want to condense it as soon as possible, right? Now, again, I'm not going to just leave you at, okay, this is how you enable the Slack automation and you do it. As people in tech, we should know how this is working, right? How is your Slack message or a Teams message being used by Atlassian, and how is it triggering a Jira ticket? How are these connected, right? So Slack integration works through Slack Events API. This will make a JSON payload and it will send it to Jira. So anytime someone pings you, there's a JSON payload that's created for the replies in the threads, for the files that are uploaded. And this JSON thread is then sent to Jira, right? So this Slack message becomes a Jira comment, a thread reply becomes another comment, and there are a lot of data that Jira has now. Okay, and the file that someone PM might have uploaded, that these are the test cases or these are the scenarios that you need to work on, that is created, that becomes a Jira attachment, right? So even the bot messages, for example, you have a Slack bot and you are trying to talk to the Slack bot about CI/CD, monitoring, QA tools, everything becomes the ticket if they mention an issue key. Okay, so whatever you're chatting is also being recorded and used as context, right? So don't worry, it uses OAuth and Connect framework, which updates as authenticated user actions and logs them as is. It's not adding extra context, like how ChatGPT uh, hallucinates and tries to add extra additional context which is not even given to us, right? So you don't want your product manager coming back and telling you that, hey, I didn't say this, but it's added in the Jira ticket, right? Leaving both of you in confusion. So don't worry, this is for authenticated user actions only, right? So this is how the tool looks for you guys who are working on Slack, right? So Jira Cloud for Slack, where this was the thread that was there were people talking, and on this channel you could directly right click on the message and you could come to Jira Cloud for Slack, and you add for which project do you want, what is the work item, what is the summary, what is the description, right? So directly from Slack you're able to add a Jira ticket as well, right? So any doubts until now before we move to Confluence, because the Q&A has been open for a bit, or we'll take the doubts in the end anyway, provided we have time.
The Q&A section is also open, guys, so you can drop your questions that may be picked up later in the session.
Great. So now all of you guys who wake up, it's now time for Confluence, right? How AI is uh, transforming Confluence. So if you guys were not using Jira, which I doubt if you're using Confluence, now it's time to learn about how AI is making Confluence better, and you can definitely flex this in the next meeting you have, team meeting, that guys, you know what, you can do this in Confluence as well, right? And improve your SDLC or PDLC in your, that is your development lifecycle in your company, right? So, like I said, Confluence, for the guys for the people who have used it, and for those who haven't, just imagine a blank Google document, and your manager or your stakeholders have told you that document XYZ thing, that these are the requirements, this is what I want, these are the test case scenarios, come up with the documentation for it, right? And you need to write all of this down. But only if you had all of the business context in one place, you will be able to write it directly, right? Like imagine trying to summarize it directly. Now, how is this being done, right? So, Confluence has something called AI content creation now, which means that if I just give it a prompt, something like a chat GPT bot or a Confluence bot, if I give it a simple prompt and if I tell and I upload the files or the docs or the project briefs or meeting notes that were discussed internally, I'm and tell it that, okay, these are the project notes, this is what stakeholder has told me to do, this is the design I need to come up with. Can you turn these 15 pages of docs into digestible summaries that I can tell my manager, right? And I'm sure you guys have come across this use case. If not, if you guys are not working in a corporate setting yet, definitely something in your college or in your intermediate, whatever place that you are at right now, you would have had a huge amount of content needs to be summarized immediately and needs to be documented somewhere, right? So this is exactly what Confluence AI content curation is doing, right? So let's see how this is done. Okay, and there is an automation tool that's created for that as well. So this is how your Confluence, sorry, this is how your Confluence looks, doesn't it? Yep. So you can see that there are some rules, audit logs, templates that are already created for your Confluence page, right? And you can write in this chatbot that, okay, this is what I want. This is the business context. The stakeholder has told me to come up with all the test case scenarios or any sort of scenario that's working with my other clients, right? So I give it exactly the things that it requires. And if you don't know, for people who have been in the industry for a very long time or who are not exposed to AI that much, prompting can be hard sometimes, right? There's literally a type of engineering that's come up, that's prompt engineering. That's how to give smart prompts to your AI chatbot. So your this bot is able to now help you write a prompt as well. So if you see over here, it literally says how to write a prompt. Things cannot be made more easier than this, can it? It's telling you how to write the prompt. You just need to upload the files and context and tell it what you require, and it will create an entire Confluence page for you. Now the Confluence page is done. To make it even more easier, you have to ping your manager on Slack saying then that, dude, the Confluence page is done, or whoever the stakeholders are, the Confluence page is done. Right? You might miss it between context switching from one task to another, between meetings. You forget to, tell the stakeholders, right? So, is there a way that Atlassian has made this also easy? They're literally spoon feeding you at this point. Like, they're telling you how you can notify Slack when a new blog itself is published. So you can create a rule engine, like you can see over here, that when a blog is published, then send a Slack message. So you can literally say that notify Slack when this blog is published, and which channel does this needs to be on. When you want this rule to be turned on, when you want this rule to be turned off. For example, now you're working on some Confluence pages that are not related to this stakeholder. You turn this rule off and tell Slack that, okay, this is not what I want right now. Right? So this is again something Confluence automations are helping you do. Okay. So you can summarize these summarize the writing also. So we built from ground up. That is, we went from, okay, if I have this much content, how do I summarize it and make it into digestible chunks? Now, what if you know you want that you want to read something, like you just don't want to write on your Confluence page. That is, you don't want to go from 0 to 100. You want to just understand for your own benefit, what am I doing, right? Like, what is all this content that I'm being exposed to? So you can write something like summarize this writing, and this AI feature will be able to summarize all of the things that you have put, and generate a quick summary for you using the Atlassian intelligence. That is the team work graph that we already spoke about. It will be able to generate all the information that you require, and uh, you can act smart in the meeting, saying that, hey, I know all of this. So you can give it multiple Confluence pages, multiple Jira tickets, and it will be able to summarize and pinpoint, provided it has enough business context, that, hey, this is how things are connected, and this is what you can pitch in your meeting, right? So it cannot just write Confluence pages, it can also summarize all the content you have, right? Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is some what your Confluence page might look like, right? And there is a summary option over here, right? And this is a huge Confluence page. It has an introduction, target audience, marketing strategy, and probably if I would have scrolled down, there would have been much more. So, how are you summarizing this? So, there is a summary option over here that you can see, and it will summarize this entire Confluence page for you, saying that this document contains information about testing, marketing plan for some health monitoring for dogs called Project ABC, right? And it kind of makes sense, right? This is what the introduction says as well, that Project ABC is an AI powered health monitoring app for dogs, and this is the target audience, this is the marketing strategy, right? And you can copy the summary and you can use it for wherever you need to, if you're creating a new Confluence page, if you need it on Slack, and much more, right? So this is another use case where Confluence pages can be made much more easier for you, right? So now let's again look back at all the things, or the demo that we had already seen in the starting. And this time I won't slow it down and explain it tool by tool, but at least now you guys might have a better understanding of what's happening and how fast your tasks are really becoming, right? So let me play this for you. Okay. And the task from this is try to identify all the places that this is using AI, the things that we have learned as far. Anything else you can see where maybe I have missed using AI, but you could have easily made the Jira ticket or Confluence. So you can see how easily we are able to create the Confluence pages, create the Jira tickets, able to summarize all of these Confluence pages, try to visualize it using these dashboards, right? Where you're able to see how much of it is a subtask, what is the open things, what are the Jira tickets. If you want to add some extra thing that okay on January 9th this needs to be updated, how do you update the due date using Jira and Confluence, right? So hopefully you could spot things better this time around that we saw the demo. And for all of you who's it was the first time, I probably that might not be the target audience for this talk, but if you guys are seeing Jira Confluence for the first time, because a few years back when I was in college in project management, we had learned about Jira and Confluence. And they were just words and tools that I didn't know people actually used in corporate settings, right? Or in big businesses, small businesses to track these tasks. So I had just learned about agile methodologies, waterfall methodologies, and much more. And that's the first time I had heard Jira and Confluence. So for any of you guys who probably not heard of Jira and Confluence before, now you've heard, seen the UI, and you know how to use AI better. And for those of you who are already in industry, this could be an interesting conversation starter with your team, where you're saying that, hey guys, maybe we can use AI to streamline these tasks on Jira and Confluence. Right now, we're done with the session, but there are some additional reads that you definitely can go through, right? How Jira, how Confluence is using your tone and style, the way you talk, right? And making your Confluence better, professional, educational. Or what are the action item extraction? Like how is AI scanning your meeting notes and understanding that which task needs to be created on and how, right? Chat GPT integration. So apart from the Atlassian chatbot itself, there's also Chat GPT integration where you can use the latest models of Chat GPT to summarize Jira tickets, workflows, etc. And more importantly, which all of us are concerned about for our organizations and for ourselves, is that if you are using so many AI tools, is it secure and is it compliant? And how is Jira and Confluence making sure it's secure and compliant? So that's it from my side. And I hope this can help you save time. Uh, People have reported, and in my teams also, I've seen that there is almost 45 minutes of time that's saved per week using AI for just summaries and automation. Your context switching is less, and you can focus on high value work instead of strategizing all these project management and product management, right? So that's it from my side. Let me introduce myself again, and we can all stay connected that way. So, I'm Kavisha, and like I said, I'm working as a software engineer at Tesco. And this is the link, this is the QR to my link tree, which you can scan and get connected to me on LinkedIn, GitHub, Medium, and other places. So, yeah, that's it.
Hello, Kavisha.
Hello.
Uh, so I am Pulkit and working as a software engineer. So I have a question about do you think AI will reshape the software delivery culture, or it will be mainly improving the existing workflow?
I think you answer your question yourself, right? Which is great. It is in fact reframing the software delivery itself, right? AI will not take away these jobs. It's just going to help ease in your product management and project management. Now in software engineering, suppose like you said, you're a software engineer, you need to work on things like the engineering solutions to whatever problem you're facing, right? Not and whatever information you require should be on your fingertips. Like it shouldn't be that you're trying to go through so much documentation all the time, right? So it's definitely, if you had all of these things like summaries, things that need to be done, uh, and it's reducing the time that it's taking you to do all of this, then you can focus on the engineering part. So I hope it helps you uh, reframe the software cycle in your company as well.
Okay, thank you.
Issues.
So there is one more question as well from Manvita. Did you get a chance to try RoboDev 2? Found it helpful, very helpful too.
Okay,
So
I'm not able to see the question.
It is
Could
in
you
the
come?
Q. It is in the Q&A. Let me post in the chat if you might not
Okay,
be able
okay.
to see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I can see now.
Yeah.
Is it from Mayur?
Yeah. Started
Oh, okay.
from Mahima, then Mayur.
Okay, so let me answer Mahima's questions first. Uh, 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 Did you get a chance to try out RoboDev 2? Yes, like we already saw in the demo, I did try it out, but like I said, RoboDev is still in the beta version. So if you see over here in your company also, if you go to your Confluence page, you'll be able to see on the site that it is showing Robo MCP server beta version. So maybe it is enabled for your company, maybe it's not. I've tried it, I've seen a few documentation as well of it, but it might not be openly available for everyone as far as I'm this thing. But there are some other agents that you can use except it if it's not available at your organization level. Okay, maybe another question.
Hi, Kavisha.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, I'm Mahima. So I was the one who asked
Yeah.
about whatever. Nice session, Kavisha. I learned a lot of new things. Uh, so AI seems to be deeply integrated into Atlassian products now.
True.
So Rodev is actually a coding assistant.
Hmm.
Uh, so we can use it in the terminal, which can help us with our coding task while developing apps. So so I think you should check that out too. It's very helpful. It was very helpful for me. Just wanted to know your opinion on that too.
So in our company, we use something called Tab9 for the same thing. I
Oh,
think different companies have different things. There is cursor also allowed in some companies, but in mine, the parallel for that is Tab9. So that is why I haven't explored it that way. I've just been able to go through the documentation that's provided by Atlassian itself. But uh, yeah, it definitely. If I also have a chance where I can use it in my company, mostly not because it's a huge organization, but I will definitely try to
yeah,
much.
yeah. I had used Tab9 in the past too.
Mm,
It has completion features. It had,
yeah.
and then yeah, it's also a cool tool.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's it from my side. Thank you.
So where do you work, Mahima?
I work at Optimizery.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Kavisha.
now the question from you, like how does combining ChatGPT's reasoning capabilities with Rovo MCP tool innovation invocation create a more intelligent automation layer?
Okay, I have lost the Q&A again. Give me some time. How does combining ChatGPT's reasoning capabilities with robots tool invocation create a more intelligent automation layer, right?
Mhm.
Great, yeah, great question, Mayur. I think he's the one who mentioned that he has a lot of experience. Maybe he can unmute.
I think I have given him the moderator access, so Mayur, can
Okay.
you can unmute?
Yeah, yeah. I can talk now. So, yeah, currently my company is focusing on AI tools and AI products. So, the main focus in Atlassian and the ecosystem of R&D. So we mainly evaluating the features mostly
Mm,
on all the tools. So from
mm,
Atlassian side, I'm how I can. So we already purchased GitHub Copilot, and GitHub Copilot is a good for R&D to use in their VS Code or in their IntelliJ. And there they wanted to integrate Rovo MCP to make one more layer so that they can automate most of the things. So in that area, I'm checking the use cases, how we can optimize and how we can added a capabilities layer for ChatGPT, including Rovo MCP.
correct. Uh, Great question, Krati. Sorry, Mayur. Yeah. Let's take this offline because I feel like this could be a very extensive discussion, more specific to the use case that you're exploring as part of your company. But if that's fine with you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Actually, I joined 15, 20 minutes late, so I don't know the agenda actually, the points. So not sure if Rovo MCP is covered or not, but yeah, we can.
It was just touched
Uh,
base. Yeah, it
mhm.
wasn't covered in this session. That's why I said we could take this offline. It's a very
Okay,
interesting discussion.
sure.
Just to add your answer, Mayur, like it will create a smarter automation layer. Like ChatGPT, like it understand the natural language, break down complex, and decide what to needs to be happen. And Rovo MCP will actually carry out that action by connecting directly to that tools. So it will create a great and a smarter automation for that. So we can take this offline for further, and we
Yeah,
can
Mm.
discuss this.
sure. Thanks.
I will also drop like a article that Kavisha wrote on this on her session,
Yes.
so you can go through the session agenda and all the things that we have discussed today. And now the
There
question
are a
from
few more
Kriti.
questions. That's why I parked Mayur's questions that might be a little more relevant to today's agenda. Um, do you mind revisiting the part wherein meetings will be summarized? Sure. And there is one more question. Can AI automation lead to version control changes if multiple contributors edit the same Confluence page? It is not just the AI automation part. If you guys have used Confluence pages in general, and if there are two, three editors that are trying to, edit the same page, then there is always, first of all, you can see where the other editor is, and as soon as that person clicks update on their Confluence page, you immediately get a notification on Confluence saying, uh, yes, this has been updated. Do you want to review new changes? So that irrespective of the AI automation, the version control is already handled by Confluence internally, where they immediately notify the other user who is on the Confluence page. Now, unfortunately, it's not like GitHub where there could be different versions of this. If something that they had written is updated and you haven't saved your changes, you have unpublished changes, then definitely it could lead to some race conditions where maybe your changes are not saved. So, yes, it will lead to some issues with versioning. It already does lead to some issues with versioning, and maybe AI, if you're using rapidly in it and making faster changes in the Confluence page, then definitely it will cause an issue with the unpublished changes, right? And as for the summaries part, do you want to let me know if you want the Confluence page to be summarized, if you want the Slack part, Slack long thread messages that are being summarized, or if you are trying to create new Confluence pages based on the summaries you're giving? Because we discussed three use cases over here, Krati. So
Mm, Kriti, I have also given you the moderator access, so if you will just enable your mic and then you can ask your question more better.
Hi, am I audible?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Kavisha. Hello, Shivam. So I am Krati Namdev. I have been in the industry for like last 17 years, and of course used Jira in couple of my projects. At least for a decade, I think I have used Jira and Confluence. So, Kavisha, I think I got it wrong then. I mean, I was more interested in knowing like the way we are having a or we are conducting a meeting right now. So, if this
Hmm.
conversation, I mean, the verbal conversation, can that be summarized in a Confluence page? And then based on that summary, I mean, I got that part that based on the Confluence, we can ask it to create a Jira story. But the first phase
Mhm.
is what I was looking for.
Okay, so you're talking about just voice inputs to Confluence and that being summarized,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
So there are two things that you can do over here, as far as my knowledge goes. One is that there is a voice option in Confluence where you can, type out whatever you want to Confluence. It might not give you, it might not summarize exactly, it might not give you a live summary. As in when you speak, it will just record what you are saying, transcribe it on your Confluence page, and maybe you can then use the Confluence summary tool to summarize it, right?
Hmm.
So that would be one way. Now, second way you can do this is that, like I was mentioning here, let me also open it. Chat GPT integration that Mayur was also touching base with, where here I've written summarize Jira tickets and creating issues, but there is a chat GPT integration as well in Confluence. And if you have used the chat GPT voice message, I mean voice enable this thing, that gives a very interesting summary option to you, right? So that actually gives you the live summary option. As in when you talk, it will extract the correct tokens, semantic context about what you're speaking, and be able to summarize it. So you can explore both the things over here. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just to add one more point here, if you want like real-time notes over the conference, so you can also use Loom as well. So if you
Yeah.
use Loom and your meetings or maybe your personal notes that you want to record, so
Hmm.
Loom does is like Loom record your video sessions and transcribe that session into Confluence page, and it will also summarize that meeting into some action pointers and like what you have discussed. So Loom has a direct integration with the Confluence. So if you are using the Confluence or the RoboChat or the Robo,
Mhm.
or you want to summarize the verbal notes, you can use Loom. It is the like very much useful tool. I use it daily basis. Use it on daily basis for time recordings and like creating some notes as well.
True.
Yeah.
I have used Loom to create some presentations for the clients. I mean,
Mm.
but then I never used it from this perspective. So thank
Yes.
you both of you, and surely looking forward to implement them.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Kriti.
Hey, hi, Kriti. So probably this is something for you. You just check out that Team 25 Europe edition. There they have mentioned much more about the loop. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a few more feature functionality which already exist and much more coming up. So just check out that notes if you ever find out from T25 Europe related to the Loom one.
Okay. Thanks, Piyush. We'll check that.
One more last question that we can pick for today from Pidatla Srinivas. Do you mind reading it, Kavisha, or should I read?
Yeah. You can go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
also.
So I have a question regarding the AI robo. How effectively we can use robo to instead of using the regular use case like summarizing the page, create a content or something. What I mean is more effective use case that we can directly adopt in our organization. Any use case that you are already implemented successfully that add benefit to your business.
Yeah, so you can use it for drafting emails for your meeting notes, right? Like we were just talking about the meeting notes. Apart from the use cases that we already saw in this session, like to create epics, bugs, tasks, etc. And you can also connect some of your knowledge bases, right? Because apart from just basic summarization, it can do a lot of work automation, whether it's drafting emails or uh, you know helping you boost productivity using tools like Slack, Drive, your GitHub. If you give access to all of this provided, then it can definitely help you in some sort of developer assistance as well. Like uh, uh, Mahima was mentioning, right? You can integrate it with your Copilot. Copilot integration is there, so you can ask robot key show me all open bugs that are related to some user or some epic that are there. So you can use it in this way if you want to immediately implement something. Hope that
Um,
The question.
I think. All right. So you can still ask your questions. Like I've just finished that Q&A session. So you can ask your questions on my email, or maybe you can get to Kavisha later this session to ask some more question. I think we have come to an end to this time for a session. Let's just do a raffle draw for our audience so that we can distribute certification voucher and the gift vouchers. So let me share my screen. So Kamisha, please stop sharing. Then I can just share my screen for the raffle draw. All right. I hope my screen is visible to you all. Is it or not? Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So let's spin the first lucky winner for certification voucher. Who is lucky one today? Let's see. And we have Hari Krishna. So Hari, please drop your email in the chat box, or you can DM me as well, so that I will share a certification voucher with you. So congratulations, Hari, for winning the certification voucher. Now let's do two gift vouchers that we have today, and remove that option. Who is there? We have Pulkit Soni
Pulkit.
for that $10 gift voucher. So congratulations, Pulkit. You will be getting that voucher from Atlassian community. Now let's do it once more again. We have Marcus. Marcus, are you still with us? If you are here, please drop your email in the chat.
Chat. Yes.
I think
I.
Marcus has left.
Yeah, he has left.
Maybe I will connect with him later, or let's just do one more time to find out who is wasn't here. Because I already told to be with us till the end of this session. We have Ruchita. Is Ruchita still joined us?
I think she
Not
also
here.
left.
Spin again, Shivam.
Okay, I think we need to do it again, or we can
Again,
contact
yeah.
them later. Let's see who comes there. We have Sanam.
Sanam.
So I think
Sanam.
Sanam. I have Sonam contact details if she is not there. So, or maybe I can just reach out to them, both of them, like the Marcus and the Ruchita. If they are if they, I found their contact details, I will definitely reach out to them, share their gift vouchers. So thank you
Pulkit
so
is
much for
here.
joining.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pulkit is here.
Pulkit.
Pulkit, you can drop your email.
I have his phone number. I can
Okay.
definitely
Yeah,
call him for the email.
then it's fine.
So, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining us and be with us till the end of this session. And please stay connected with us in the age.atlassian.com/ like any chapter that you want to go, like that maybe virtual session or any in-person session, and be connected and start learning with this community. So, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Kavisha,
Kavisha,
for
as
that
well
session. Yeah,
for
yeah.
yeah. Please, Sushant, you can
Yeah,
conclude
thank
the
you.
session.
Thank you, Kavisha, for that session. Like, we just saw that AI is now a longer buzzword inside Jira and Confluence now. Like, if you apply these insights, your team work will be full, like, smoother and faster. Like, thank you for this insight and all that session.
So, all right, have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
today.
Thank you all. Thank you
Thanks
so
all.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.